guys in the gym and busting, ready for whatever it is. I can't say I'm not in the background in the board deals, but I can say I truly feel and believe in my heart that the reason why the fight ain't happening yet, the reason what's going on, is because they ain't coming correct. That's all it is. True. They ain't talking right. This is the fight. This is the fight. I was doing my.
Those are the words of Team Crawford. As you heard, one of the close colleagues of Terrence Crawford say that the money's not right between the welterweights. They're not offering Bud the right type of money that he's accustomed to on the PBC side. Of course, we know Terrence Crawford is now a free agent, and the money is not right for the fight at hand. Let me counterpunch. Is this set in stone? No. Was this from Terrence Crawford? No. However, if they're offering Terrence Crawford the same amount of money they offered Sean Porter and Errol Spence, it's not going to be enough, and it's going to be a problem, and I seen that coming a mile away. See, one thing about Terrence Crawford, he had a good deal. That's why Bob Arum pissed and moaned like he did, because he had to pay Terrence Crawford a certain amount of money regardless of how well it sold on pay-per-view. Okay, he had to do that. That's why you always had him, I don't know, it's a waste of money. He's doing that because he knew he had to sign Terrence Bud Crawford, and now Terrence Bud Crawford is a free agent. And racist as he may be or whatever, according to Terrence Crawford, the money is not going to be the same over there on the PBC side. They have a different structure. They want more commission, more pay-per-view style based versus overall set salary. Okay, so if you're accustomed to making $3-4 million a fight guarantee, you're not going to get that on the PBC. You're not going to get that. And if we look at most super fights that happen in the yesteryear, if you take Oscar De La Hoya versus Felix Trinidad, if you had that fight, which Oscar De La Hoya made like $20 million or something like that, and $21 million, and Trinidad made 8.5. Well, this was in 1999, people. Okay, so that shows you that boxing has been on the decline. Okay, especially in the heavyweight rankings, because we had guys like De La Hoya, Trinidad making $10 million, $20 million, where these guys now are barely making 5, let alone 10. Okay, so, they might make 7, because I think Keith Thurman made $7 million, I believe, in his fight against Manny Pacquiao. But it's crazy because these guys like Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, they're not trying to fork over the money for this type of fight. It's like they're saying these fighters are not worthy enough to get this type of money. And if this is the problem, Terrence is like, look, we put our lives on the line just like all these other guys. Okay, just like everybody else that stepped into the ring, so we deserve that amount of money. In essence, they're right. They're true. But the problem is you got guys like Errol Spence, Gervonta Tank Davis. A lot of these guys have made this rate of money for so long that it's considered okay, and it's not. And everybody on the PBC side, they're so tribal over there and so fucking obedient that they don't believe in going anywhere else. They want to stay on this island and ride Al Heyman's ass all the time and think that he's this and then that or whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, they don't have the money to pay their fighters. It's the proof is in the pudding. Both of those guys deserve it. If you're going to give them a 50-50 split, give those men $10 million apiece. And then $5 million for the bonus of the winner. So have $25 million down, $10 million that goes to each fighter, $5 million for the winner. That's easy as what we could say. But then we have Floyd Mayweather making $20 million against Oscar De La Hoya that made $52 million. So then that was in 2007. Okay, that's damn near 20 years ago right there. So we're looking at how boxing is taking a dive, a nosedive, a nosedive, right? When it comes to this type of issue, okay? Boxing didn't become less violent or less dangerous over the years, okay? You could still get hit with a punch that you will never be the same from versus when you went in that ring. Okay, so if this is the case, based on Team Crawford, well, that's going to be an overall problem, But again, it's not set in stone. I'm just running this by you guys. You guys tell me what you think of Terrence Crawford's team stating that the money ain't right, the money ain't enough, and that's what's holding it up. Please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.